So, we were watching Friends last night, and Rachel had privileged information that did not belong to her. She should not have access to, and had no right to see. Private thoughts of a man. And because of this, she decided to punish or wage a campaign of punishment on Ross. Instead of just, I don't know, taking it in stride that has nothing to do with you and looking at the result.
It did have not something to do with her though, because she saw her name on the computer. And then this name got printed out. And it's natural, like it's three guys hanging out and your name is on the laptop or on the computer, and you clearly know they're talking about you. And you're their friend, right? So for me, I don't feel like that was a snooping situation. I feel like she had the right to know what was being talked about. You know? I feel like she did have the right to know.
I don't agree.
It's a private thought, yes, but they should have kept it private. The fact that she walked in and it's still open and she could see her name.
She should maintain discipline and not touch it.
No,
It has nothing to do with her.
Why would someone write my name on their computer? Why would they do that? I want to know. You know? I want to know. This is different from if you are in a relationship with someone and you try to snoop in their phones and, you know, try to read their emails and stuff. That's, for me, that's snooping. Snooping is when you secretly try to find out things.
Surreptitiously.
Yeah, for me that's snooping. If something is on display and it has my name on it, I have the right to know. What are you talking about me? Why do I have my name on your laptop? Why is the printing thing? Why is the things printing with my name? I have the right to know. I don't consider that to be snooping. I think she has all the rights in the world to know.
I don't agree.
You don't have to.
A man should be allowed to have thoughts. Well, any person, it doesn't have to be a man, should be allowed to have thoughts that don't affect a relationship. Doubts that come up, interactions, this or that. The idea that someone should have the ability to figure things out without it making an impact. It's the same as taking a moment to cool off after an argument. I should be allowed to rant and rave to myself a little bit.
Then keep it to yourself.
Keep it to myself.
Yeah.
Come back and not have any of that held against me, because I didn't articulate it to you. I did it to myself. So coming in and just by happenstance that being written down, no, that's not for you. You don't touch it. It doesn't belong to you. It's a private thought. It's mine. It doesn't belong to you. You have no right to see it.
What they could have done was to be very careful.
They did. They shut the computer off.
Yeah, they did.
But the printer printed it out of a malfunction. It has nothing to, again.
So
she has no right to that piece of paper.
When they had it, when they got the piece of paper, what they should have done was destroy it right away. They hanged it, they left it hanging in their hand. When this woman is very curious, wanting to know.
No right to this.
I'm gonna take it. I have the right. It has my name. It's kind of like my property. Why does it have my name? You have no rights to be using my name.
I don't agree.
You don't have any rights to be using my name. If you want it to be your private thought, destroy it before I can find it. If I find it, then it's a problem. Why are you thinking about me in that way? You know? Why are you thinking about me like that? Why are you making a list about me? Why are you saying these things that could be hurtful to me? I'm just a waitress. I have something with my feet. That's like your way of trying to determine if you can date me or not, or if you can choose me or not, and I should be okay with that? No fucking way.
of your business.
No, I don't agree.
The only thing that is your business is what I make known to you, which is I have decided that I want to be with you, that I broke up with my girlfriend to be with you.
It doesn't matter. I am not your pet that you get to choose whichever way you want.
Yeah, then
I'm
you can
not
decide
wrong.
whether or not you'll have me, but
I need
you
to
only
know.
have a right to know
So,
what I've told you.
What I'm saying is, if it so happened that it was your private thought, you made that list, you did it in your room, in the privacy of your own space, that I don't get to see, then it's fine. But if I get a hold of that, then it becomes a problem. Should I pretend like nothing happened? Should I pretend like you didn't call
You
me
should
back?
understand that
was
it
bad?
has nothing to do
I
with you,
don't
and
care.
don't touch it.
It does have something to do with me because my name is there.
It doesn't mean there's a lot of Rachels.
It is. It's just
It's not
one
your
of
name.
those things.
It's
that-
not your name.
It's just one
It's
of
Rachel.
those
It's
things
a name that is
It
also
is one of
spelled the
those
same as
things
yours.
that it can never. It can never. I mean, if you're the one who did it, then you're like you try to justify the reason why you did it, right? Which
Right.
makes sense because when you're dating multiple people and you're trying to find out what happens, like I said, love sometimes is not enough. Maybe you love this person very
Right.
much, but what is the other thing that comes with that love? What is the thing that accomplishes the love that makes it something that is worth pursuing, right? So if it's just, oh, she's pretty, blah, 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 that's not enough. You know? What else does she bring outside of her beauty? Is she smart? Is she, like all of these
Yeah.
things that you need to,
So
I need
this
to
this is
accompany
kind of where. So now we're entering the weeds of whether or not Rachel and Ross were a good match, and I don't think they were. And I'm probably going to get a lot of hate mail for that. Negative
Wow.
comments below, please. We like those. But it's there should be an ability. There should be boundaries. Just because it's a piece of paper that you can see doesn't mean you should look at it. I don't believe in any form of snooping, and I consider what Rachel did in that episode snooping. None of your business. Walk away. It's nothing to do with you. I'll come back later when you guys are being a little less weird. Something like that. You don't need to know. It's not. Again, it's not for you. Men should have the ability to have intimate friendships. Women should have the ability to have intimate friendships. Where if I'm with a person, I don't necessarily have to know what they say. I don't have to know what goes on. People should be allowed to express themselves in a safe place.
Well,
But it also, so this is also important. It's also true that she had an emotional response, and her emotional response was legitimate. But her emotional response also has nothing to do with Ross. It has to do with her insecurities about her ankles, or her insecurities about her employment situation. And maybe they can talk about that in a way that is less emotionally charged. Those things shouldn't have been enough to debilitate a person or to completely collapse a thing. These are things that are true. I dated a high school dropout, and I thought, well, career prospects, other things. It turned out to be a herald of deeper problems, not necessarily the high school dropping out itself. That was the problem. So sometimes these things can be a reason to not be together, but sometimes it's a place a diving board for conversation. Her emotional response was legitimate, but I don't think it was necessarily for Ross. She has a lot of things going on with her insecurity and her being in a new situation in her life. Maybe she's not even ready for a relationship because she's still trying to figure out who she is without daddy's money. So it's easy to sort of take the stance that, okay, she shouldn't have looked at that. Ross maybe shouldn't have written it down. Maybe he shouldn't have talked to his friends. There's a lot of should, but it doesn't really ultimately matter because I don't think either of them were in that place. And I'm not a leapfrogger anyway. I don't want to go straight from one relationship to another. I mean, maybe I've done it, but it doesn't mean it's healthy. there should have been a grieving period. Rachel, I really like you. I want to be with you. But the thought that we could be together, I want to make sure I do this right. Maybe I grieve my previous relationship. I take some time to detox from the
right.
Julie situation.
Yeah.
And then I say, all right, when I've properly grieved and I'm in a place, maybe we should have this conversation.
The problem with that made it difficult, that I could see why Ross couldn't do that, is because he was already in love with Rachel for a very, very long time. And just waiting another day was just not even an option for him, right? So Julie was a substitute teacher.
She was a placeholder.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she, like anyone else. If anyone else was just a substitute for her. So when she came along, like, it was just easier for him to just. And the reason why he made the list and they tried to do all this, like make the list with Rachel and Julie, was because he was trying to kind of convince himself that it wasn't a good idea for him to go with Rachel, even though subconsciously he has always wanted her and he knows he wants her. And that's why he said, even the list did, like, nothing in that list would stop me from wanting to be with you.
This is also where I come in, where I don't think they were compatible. Ross and Rachel, I don't think they were compatible. He was comfortable with Julie. He loved Julie. He was happy with Julie. It was a very comfortable thing. A lot of people go for the butterfly. They think, oh, I need the spark of lightning. I need that, ooh, I need that, I need that, unrealistic expectation to want to be with a person long term. Who's to say their relationship would have lasted long at all? Even if Rachel didn't get emotional and latch on to the things he said and start to wallow in her own insecurities, which she was very much wallowing. Her life stopped after she read this document. It crippled her, not because of Ross, but because of her own insecurities. So let's just say they did get together. She wasn't crippled by it. She wasn't so insecure. They get together. He finally gets the thing that he's wanted for so long. He realizes when he's in it, yeah, okay,
it's not really what I thought.
it's not what I want. She doesn't challenge me. I need someone that feeds me. I dated someone that I wrote a whole long 4-page thing about romantic feelings I had toward this person. This person's response was cute. I felt mistreated because this person was holding back. This person was withholding the reciprocation. But truly, this person just didn't have it in them to give it to me. Is it? Sorry. This person just didn't have it in them to give it to me. Should I resent them for that? No. It's just she's not what I want. She's not what I need. She's not going to give me what I'm going to crave. So the list was very practical, but I think he ultimately came to the wrong conclusion. This woman he had put on a pedestal that he was so anxious, preoccupied with, and did all these activating strategies for, really wasn't what he wanted or needed. I like the way the show ends. But anyway, this was a great topic. And you can see disagreement is natural, but it doesn't end the world. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Please light up our comments with all your agreements and disagreements with me, with her, with who, with Rachel, Ross. Oh my God, how could he speak ill of their relationship? Comment below, please. I love the engagement.